The NFL draft has come and gone, and in this video, we're going to be breaking down how it went for the Clemson Tigers. I'm Ryan Cantor. Let's dive right in. So the first Clemson Tiger off the board, no surprise, was Myles Murphy. He went 28th, first round to the Bengals. Pretty good landing spot for him, about what you expected, probably in that 20 to 30 range was what most projections had. They were spot on. He goes to the Bengals where he'll be backup for the first year. He needs to improve his pass rushing skills and become more disruptive as a pass rusher. But they love his upside. Obviously, he has all the physical traits. So um, good pick for them. It was interesting they took him over Michael Mayer from Notre Dame, the tight end who possibly could have started. So feather in the cap for Myles Murphy to go in the first round there. Tigers' other first rounder was Bryan Bresee, went the very next pick to the New Orleans Saints. And it was interesting because he only played 25 games in his whole career for Clemson. Wasn't spectacular. Wasn't a first round level of production at Clemson, but his potential, his physical measurements, and all of that led to teams wanting to take that chance on him because he does have so much potential. He had injuries, he had the ACL, he had the kidney infection, and obviously he had the family tragedy. So a lot of things going against him, and because of that, they still bet on him. And it's just interesting that sometimes Clemson players are really productive and get underdrafted. Other times it's the reverse. And we're about to look at some guys who are great at Clemson, and the NFL didn't reward them for that. The NFL draft is not a reward for what you've done; it's a guess on what you will do. And production just one piece of that. So happy to see Brazil go early, and his kind of struggles to some extent didn't really hurt him much. So great to see two Clemson Tigers go in the first round. Third up was Trenton Simpson. He goes to a very strong linebacker room in Baltimore with the Ravens. They are very competitive as they were able to re-sign Lamar Jackson. They brought in Zay Flowers, the electric wide receiver from Boston College. So he has a chance to play on a Super Bowl caliber team immediately, which is great. With their strong linebacker room, he will hopefully be eased in. He's got a lot of speed, but this last year wasn't his best year. Really, he was better as a sophomore than a junior as he was playing on the outside. So a good situation for Trenton Simpson. It was great to see him get drafted, and he was crying. It was awesome. He was a player who, to some extent, was drafted on his physical performance in the combine and his potential, but he was productive as a Clemson Tiger. Not as much last year as the year before, but he had a good, solid Clemson career. And even if he didn't, we're happy to see Simpson go in third round. You skip 2 rounds down, and KJ Henry goes to the Washington Commanders, a team that I still say should have been the Washington Renegades and should be running out to Renegade by sticks. Big miss by them, but good to see Henry go. This is a case where he's a fifth year, he's a redshirt senior. He finally had a breakout season. He really wasn't great for 3.5 of those years, and then he turned it on late in that redshirt junior year and was awesome last year. Based on production, he should have been the first guy to go. But based on what they measure and what they see as his future, he goes in the fifth round, which I think is probably about right. I just don't know how much more they could draw out of him than what you saw from Clemson this year. But he was certainly extremely productive, Clemson's best defensive player in many regards last season. So happy to see him go and not drop any further. He was expected to be probably fourth, fifth round. So this is about right. And then later in that fifth round, left tackle Jordan McFadden goes to the Chargers. Yeah, another guy, he was extremely productive, had a long productive career at Clemson. And this fifth round pick doesn't really reflect just how good he was for the Tigers. But again, it's more about what he can do moving forward. So a little underdrafted based on production, but this pick is about potential. He's not as tall, not quite the physical specimen as some of these first round tackles. But good to see him get taken and not drop to the last round or two, or have to sign as a undrafted free agent like Mitch Hyatt did, even though he was excellent at Clemson. So Clemson offensive line or offensive linemen have not made a huge splash in the NFL, generally speaking, and we'll definitely want to see McFadden have a big impact and a long career in the NFL. Not only for him, because we're grateful for all he did for Clemson, but also to help that recruiting and kind of be able to show the pipeline to the NFL from the offensive line. And then lastly, Davis Allen. He goes to the Rams with the 175th pick, also in the fifth round. It was a really deep tight end class, which made it a little interesting that Davis Allen went so early. or chose to depart. I mean, from Clemson with a year of eligibility left. But good to see him get selected. It's an opportunity for him to play on a good team. Um, and make an impact. I think he's looked at as a good all around player, but not someone with unlimited upside. So if you enjoyed this video, I've got more coming. We've just posted a video about the transfer portal for both football and basketball, and we'll have more coming. So please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it.